Welcome to another edition of 68 Shining Moments presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Today we catch up with Abilene Christian head coach Joe Golding about their incredible upset win over Texas in the 2021 NCAA tournament. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now pleased to be joined by one of the Cinderella stories of March Madness this year, and that is Abilene Christian head coach Joe Golding. And I was there, Joe, for that game against Texas. And, I don't know what you thought when you drew Texas, but I felt like they were one of the top 5 talented teams in the country. And I didn't think you stood much of a shot, to be honest. Especially when I saw you line up against Texas, I was like, oh, this could be really ugly. What were your thoughts? Being a team in the state, I'm sure you had seen them on TV throughout the year.
All I had to do was put in your podcast, when you gave us no chance. I just played it to our team, That's you don't know that. That's becoming coaching one-on-one now. Listen to what Jeff says and use it for you or against you, right? No, in all honesty, you looked at tape at the University of Texas, to your point, they have NBA talent. They just come off the Big 12 tournament win. They won the Maui Classic. A very, very talented team and a very, very good team. And when you watched them on tape, there was obviously we knew it was going to be a challenge. Here's the way we looked at it, Jeff, in all honesty. Number one, we played Texas Tech really close in the regular season. Tech had beat them twice. And so we knew, okay, we could convince our guys, hey, we played with Tech and Tech beat Texas. We're good enough to beat Texas. So that was step number one of getting them to believe in it. And then I think the way Texas plays with the ball screen stuff they did, we knew we could fly around. And when you looked at the stats, the first thing was turnovers, and Texas turned the ball over. They had turned it over consistently all year. And so we convinced our guys that, hey, we played with Tech, and Tech beat Texas. We're number one in the country in forced turnovers, and they'll give it to you. So, if we can force turnovers, if we can limit possession, steal possession, score the basketball, we could have a chance. And then we went back also 3 years ago to when SFA played Texas Tech at American Airlines and said, hey, listen, Tech had never been guarded like SFA guarded them that night, and we're the same thing. Texas has not been guarded for 2 months the way we're about to guard them. They've been in the Big 12 where everybody just switched everything. We're going to get out and pressure them and get underneath them. And, if at that point, just try to get belief. I will say this, Jeff, completely different than the Kentucky time we made the tournament. When our guys got announced, this group, there wasn't a lot of crazy celebration. There was celebration because at our level, it's important to do that. But you could tell it was different, man. Our guys believed that they had a chance to win a game.
Yeah, I was there against that when you played against Kentucky and that one. You were happy to be there, right?
Yeah.
You were kind of happy to be there.
Yeah, we're on vacation. We were there for the gear and the steak and lobster and everything else that comes with the NCAA tournament, the press conferences. But yes, absolutely. It was we had no chance.
When did you feel like, okay, or when do you think your players, because you could say it to them all you want, but until they're in it and they look over and they say, all right, we got a chance. Because, listen, I'm watching, I forget his name, your 6'5", undersized four-man, try to guard, Jericho Sims, who is a freak of nature. And I'm saying to myself, but like he did a good job against them. And when do you think your guys figured out, you know what? Coach is right. We really do have a shot here.
I just think the more we watch tape, the more we convince these guys. And of course, we did tape in a way that would formulate a plan of success and confidence with our guys, where we'd show Texas turning the ball over all the time. Would just really turn and build confidence in our guys, or other teams getting wide open shots that gets them. And not that they gave up shots all the time, but we convinced our guys that that there were shots there and things like that. Culture things that our culture against their culture, just different things that would breed confidence. And I think the more we did that, our guys became confident. One thing was the press. We knew Shaka was going to press us and try to bully us a little bit, if you want to say, in those type of terms, and come at us quick. We knew we had to handle the 1-2-2 press effective early, but it was tricky because we wanted to get them out of that press, but at the same time, we kind of wanted to keep them in that press because we thought it could create some scoring opportunities. So we wanted to take advantage of that early, and I thought we did a great job in the week of prep. The more we did that, the more comfortable our guys got with the game plan. And then, they put a guy on the ball. It's called our diamond press. And so as the week would progress, we would all of a sudden throw a guy on the ball and everybody in the gym would start yelling diamond, diamond. And we had a game plan for that. So I just think the more the more we did it and the more the week progressed, the more we bought into the game plan of whether it was what we were going to do defensively or how we were going to attack them offensively, our guys just started to believe more and more.
So you had the lead. It was semi-comfortable, with 2 minutes left.
That point on, and bad coaching.
Bad coaching. Well, Andrew Jones hits a three with 14 seconds left to give them a 1-point lead, 52-51. And I'm like, all right, it's going to be tough here because, the one thing you guys had trouble doing, like you said, was scoring the basketball. That was not your strength this year. Your strength was clearly defense. Like you said, turning people over. When he hit that shot, what are you thinking?
Yeah, you and I talked about this after the game, and I mean it, man. That kid has an incredible story, Jeff. Incredible. And, the first thing that comes to my mind is meant to be, Andrew Jones hits the shot and deserves to hit the shot, hit the 2 free throws and hit the 3. And a kid with that story that's battled a life or death disease, it has come to where, he looked really good to me. Like, I don't know. I've seen NBA guards and he's good. I don't know what his future, but he's going to play professional basketball. And it's an amazing story where 2 years ago, he didn't even know if he was be there. So incredible story. So it's almost like it's meant to be, but then it flips back to like, hey, we got 14 seconds left. This is our story. It's meant to be for us. We've led this game for, last 12 minutes, 13 minutes. We've played Texas toe to toe for 40 minutes. We deserve to win this game. This is our game. And so, we got in that huddle and we ran a play that we believe in, that we've worked on all year. We haven't ran it a ton. Jeff, we haven't been in a lot of close games this year. We went through our league. There wasn't a lot of games that were close. So we had never been in that type of deal where, hey, had the ball. You work on that stuff in practice, but come on, man. You're Lucas Oil Stadium, University of Texas. Your ball down 14 seconds. We would take it. Texas guard to play well. They switched everything, which we thought they might, which here we go. Now it's, can your size go make a play against their side, and we didn't, and we don't have 6'6" guards that can just pull up, and so we told Reggie, hey, at the end of the day, whoever has the shot, throw it on the glass and give us time to go to the glass. We had won a game at SFA 2 or 3 weeks ago in the same scenario where Colton Cole hit a tip in at the buzzer to beat SFA on an offensive rebound. So, same type scenario. And we told our guys, all 5 guys are going to the glass, once the shot goes up and Joe went and made a heck of a play. So, again, then it was like, okay, now we're supposed to win. So, it was.
Surprised you got the call? Were you surprised you got the call? Because again, in these situations, you can look at it 2 ways, right? Like you're the Cinderella. Are the refs making that call with a couple seconds left?
Before we continue that interview, I just have to let you guys know that it is that time of year again. We have waited 2 years for this moment, and it is finally here. March's biggest tournament is back. Gonzaga is getting ready to run the table. Slippers are being fit as we speak, and our partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, are putting our listeners at the center of the action. How? If you bet $4 on an underdog in a select game this week and that underdog wins, you win $256. That's right, $256. Here's how it works. You download the app now. You use the promo code FIELD68 when you sign up. Scroll through the list of select underdogs, bet $4 on one of them to win, and cash $256 when they do. There is no better way for you to put your college hoops knowledge to the test and then to put your money where your mouth is with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's safe, it's secure, it's reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. I know this because I use them. So remember, the code is FIELD68. That's FIELD68 to turn $4 into $256. For a limited time only, you must be 21 years or older. Restrictions apply. Go to DraftKings.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, when I watched it on tape, it's a foul. I'll be honest, I was frustrated we didn't beat Texas by 6 or 7. If we'd have handled the game better, if we'd have called timeout instead of throwing it and getting a tied-up jump ball, Damian Travels. I thought Reggie on the ground called timeout. They didn't give it to us. They called the jump ball there. Like, there was some situation, and Reggie's 3 in the corner went in and out. Like, in my opinion, we should have won. That's where I was frustrated. But a foul was a foul. I will tell you this, Jeff, being honest.
Yeah.
if that's a guaranteed game in November or December, there ain't no way we're getting that call, my man.
No shot.
$90,000 check, and we're getting to L, and we're going back to Abilene, man. I've been there, done that. And Coach Beard, I think in the Tech game, the last 10 minutes, they didn't hit a field goal. They shot like 30 free throws this year, So that's a guaranteed game, right?
Yeah, it's different. It is different in the tournament.
I think in the NCAA tournament, we had played 39 minutes and 30 seconds or 40 seconds. We earned the right for that call to be made. Our guys deserved that call to be made and made that play, and I think the refs understood that. I think at that point in time, there was no Texas or ACU or 14 3 seed. I think those guys said, hey, these are two good college basketball teams that went at each other, and, we're going to call the game the right way.
So tell me again how that huddle was with Joe Pleasant going to the line. I remember looking at his eyes. I was literally like squared up to him, and it wasn't like he just sat there looking at the rim like people say. Like he looked down, he looked at the rim, he looked down again.
He was looking anywhere.
I mean, the kid had to be nervous. I don't care who you are in that situation. You got to be you got to be a little bit nervous. How did you try to take that edge off?
That's a tricky situation for any coach, because how do you handle it? Do you talk about the success? Do you talk about, hey, if he misses one, we got to, foul, or if he makes one, misses one, we're not fouling? So what I've always done is I handle in front of the player in the timeout that he's going to make them both. And so we go through it like, hey, Joe's going to make them both. There's going to be 1.4 seconds left or 1.8, whatever there was. Now they have to catch the ball going in front of us. If they throw it the length of the court, they have so much size. We can't sit back. We have to act like a free safety. We have to go attack the ball and go get it at its highest point. As soon as we broke the huddle, I call those other 4 players over, and we have a game plan for them that Joe never hears, What
did you tell those guys?
Well, hey, if he misses, then we gotta obviously foul. If he misses one, makes one, it's a tie game. We are not fouling, and knowing the situation. So you didn't want Joe to hear that at all.
No.
I didn't want Joe to hear any of that. I wanted Joe to hear they're both going in. And Joe's our hardest worker. I told you that. He's our hardest worker kid in our program. I've seen him work on his free throws all year. He always makes big plays for us. He comes in, and so he deserved it. Like Andrew Jones deserved that 3 to go in. Joe Pleasant deserved those free throws. Guys that work and invest in the game of basketball, the game will reward you. If you don't work and you don't invest, the game won't reward you, and Joe works at it and he got rewarded. But let me tell you this, because you'll love this real quick. This is a heck of a Joe Golding story. So in the 4-minute timeout, we had talked all week about me going to the casino with Brett Tanner, our associate head coach, years ago. Okay. I was crushing them, Goodman, on the craps table. Absolutely crushing them, right? Went on a heck of a run. And Steve Shields taught me the game of craps. Might be one of the best things he taught me at Little Rock was how to play craps. And so unbelievable craps player. So I am crushing them, right? Well, as we know, if you stay at the craps table a little long, that can change in a hurry in craps. Well, I get crushed, right? The casino starts crushing Joe. Well, I'm not a quitter. Mama didn't raise a quitter. I'm going to fight you till the end, tooth and nail. That's why casinos and Joe Golding are not a good combination. So I am down to $300, and I give it to Brett Tanner. And I say, Brett, I'm done playing craps, but take that over to the roulette table and put it on black. I've always known, hey, at the last deal, you go black and you turn your head and you hope it wins, right? So I'm telling my team this. This is the day before the game. And I walk off because I'm so nervous. I really don't know if I lose this 300, how am I eating that night or whatever, but how am I getting home, and how am I going to tell my wife? And so Brett, being the responsible one, with some discipline to him, he doesn't bet all 300 on black. He only bets the 150 and saves the 150, right? Well, I turn around at the last moment, it hits black. So I go over there looking for my $600, and he only gets 300. And I am pissed. I'm mad. I'm going nuts. I'm upset. So I told our guys when we played Texas, we're betting all 300. We're not going, even if it's our last 300, we're going. Well, at the under 4-minute timeout, I told that story again. I said, fellas, here we are, man. We're at the casino, man. We only got $300 left. We are not being Brett Tanner tonight. We are not putting 50 on black. We are betting all 300. Let's go. And it was awesome. So it's good for other people to hear insight. It's not always basketball and X's and O's, man. It's getting those kids to believe, laugh, breathe in those moments, and enjoy the moment and get them to have some fun and have some confidence.
So obviously this year's tournament different. Your kids can't celebrate with their families. You can't celebrate with your family. I kind of pushed you away when you came up and tried to, I think, give me a hug, or I'm not sure what it was. I didn't want you to get, thrown out of the tier one.
And I should have given you a hug, man, and just walked out with you. I mean, what else are we going to do, man? We beat University of Texas.
Right. Good point. Good point. It didn't matter. What was the post-game celebration like? It's just you and your other 33 people in tier one, right? I mean, your players, your support staff, whatever it is. What is it like this year?
Yeah, it's different, obviously. It's very different, and I think there's some positive to it. You're not having to deal with the outside, families and the donors and the boosters and the fans and the presidents and everybody that great people, but just constantly trying to come at you. I think that's been a positive for teams, I think they would say. And then you get to know teams, Jeff. You get to see other teams work. You get to, there's not a ton of interaction, but you're like, when we were there was, Tennessee, Florida, Arkansas, Kansas, cool thing, Ohio shared a meeting space right by us when we both won. It was a great night, to go back. And those guys were great. Arkansas was great when we won. Tennessee was great. When we won the game and we got back, they would stop in and tell our guys, hey, congratulations. Cool. That was awesome, and so that was kind of cool, and to see those players and have that interaction. But, man, I mean, Jeff, it's completely different, man. I mean, that, man. I mean, you're literally in your hotel room. You're in a meeting space, or you're in the practice facility. They're literally, you're not going outside. We called it, the joke was yard time. You had your 45 minutes at the baseball field. And then when we beat Texas, they let us go outside to literally, there was a little circle that was gated off, and we got to lay down and breathe for 30 minutes, some fresh air. But, I mean, it's tight security in there. It's mask on. And it's the way it's got to be. I think they've done a great job on that. I mean, these student athletes are sacrificing a lot, to get this done. I hope people understand that and know that. And it's a shame that they can't play. Mick Cronin said that to me, and I thought it was great. Mick said, Joe, after beating Texas in this game, your kids, it's a shame. They should come out, and this arena should be 18,000 people and going crazy, and they would remember it. He said, that's a shame that they can't. And I said, Mick, I appreciate that. Well,
listen, different, still unbelievable, incredible, kind of the Cinderella story, in my opinion, the biggest upset of the 2021 tournament. Joe Golding, Abilene Christian. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me on, man. Thanks for all you do, bud.
You got it.